What's up, Pondies?
Welcome to another episode of the Pundit Soul Podcast,
where we explore the flavors of being Filipino and American.
We're your hosts. I'm the Dre Magics.
I'm the fictitious professor.
And I'm EJ Villiaman, and we hope you're hungry.
Because there's plenty to go around. Hey, Pondies, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Pundit Soul Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm the Dre Magics.
I'm the fictitious professor.
And I'm EJ Villiaman.
And back again, times 2.
Times 2.
That's 4 now.
Damn it.
We can't
Divided by 2.
Divided times 0.5.
I'm not that kind of Asian that knows that math.
I'm not like other
He's
girls.
social studies.
+1.
Oh. -1.
It's Richie.
Carrying it. Oh, hi everyone.
Just wanted to contribute.
You know what you would be dope on, actually? I would be down to produce it.
Jeopardy.
I think we'd...
Ooh.
No, dude.
Tag Team Jeopardy. The
If
3
you
player.
were the
Let's do it. Pop culture Jeopardy.
If you were the YouTube show that was like, you're the new Mr. Rogers.
Ah.
Wouldn't that be tight?
But Mr. with an H.
Huh?
Mr. with an H.
No, because then...
But the H is in the front of the M. He does Greek food and Mediterranean food.
It's like Mong.
It's Mong.
My last name is Amador, so it'd be Mr. Ray.
Ooh.
Like the desert's Mr.
Ray.
Nice.
Yep,
You
that's
know,
it.
we caught our stride.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is the one.
GBP.
Yeah. Ganun ba pare?
Ganun ba pare?
GMG. Google mo gago. I gotta make that sticker.
Right.
Dude, speaking of stickers, Dre, zoom in on this. If you need some poggy points in
What
your
happened to
life.
the old one?
Look at that.
Here, here's a
Plus 5 poggy points.
Oh, nice.
It's like a retro coin. Yeah.
That looks like a centavo.
That's how much bogey points cost.
Pogi PTS.
Can I get one of those? That's,
Yeah, I have
that's
one
really
for
nice.
you, actually.
Wow.
Nice.
You mean you have 5 bogey points for him?
Yeah, I brought 15 with me.
Wow.
Get these at your
Actually,
next
20,
Comic
but-
Con.
Probably mine. Yo, so this episode, let's talk about PCNs. I don't think we covered that topic. When we were having our Pusoy Dos night, Carson High was having their PCN.
Wow.
Oh, same
all
space.
right.
No.
Next door.
Down the street
Yeah.
at the school. But I was like, yo, I was involved in that stuff in high school. If you would put on a PCN now, how lit would it be? Or
Damn,
would you
dude. I probably wouldn't because I'm over that shit.
change it? Dang, are you?
No.
Damn.
You don't like your
Yama?
culture?
No, I like my culture.
You're a
I like my culture. It's great. But do I got to present it to people? Nah, they could.
You know, this guy, because we went to college together, right?
Dang, you're in a disguise.
He was like the coordinator for different cultural suites. So senior suite, he did rural,
Trads.
trads,
What
yeah.
is treads?
Traditional.
Oh, okay.
Which is now called tribal, I think.
Is
'Cause-
it?
That's derogatory, isn't it?
I don't know. That's what I thought
No, it'd
too.
be
It could be
Right.
empowering. They're taking it back.
Yeah.
My tribe.
It's crazy because like Philams, when they get into like the roots of it, they go like too far back and they get too.
They go too far back and they make the Filipinos in the Philippines angry.
They
yeah,
get,
no,
They
and
get too rooted.
that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you say it as a joke, but that's real shit. Where they're like, you have a colonizer's mindset. I'm like, yeah, because I was colonized.
Yeah.
Fuck you, right? So it's like we always like circle back to this conversation, right? But do you think PCNs are still needed?
Is that where the flip comes in though? Because wow, no pun intended.
Got him.
Sorry.
I was like, you mean flip in a derogatory way? Or
No.
flip in
Okay,
like
so
a-
but
for
it's-
example, that right where it's like we were taught it was derogatory, but like, why can't we use it? Why can't we reclaim it the way other communities have reclaimed?
I never thought it was
There.
derogatory
I didn't
until,
either.
until
It
that
sounds
happened.
fun.
I was like, what?
No, but like for us, we changed from PCNs to PACNs, so it's
Yeah.
Filipino American Cultural Nights.
Yeah.
But also that's like same shit.
But sometimes it
name.
isn't though. Like I like at first when it happened, I was like, why are we doing this? And then
So
I
what's the
realized
difference?
because this isn't a Filipino, like it's not a Filipino thing. We're not Filipinos from Philippines. We're Filipino American. We're Amphil or Amphil.
Clickbait. All right. So
It kind
let's
of
get into
clickbait,
this.
right?
No.
There's less pressure.
But
Less
yeah,
pressure?
I guess it's more representation of how we
Like claiming
felt
it's
at
its
that
own
time.
culture.
Correct.
Right.
Because Filipino American is now its own. Well, it seems like it's its own subculture or culture of Filipino.
Right.
Because a lot of the argument is you can't be Filipino if you're not from Philippines.
Right.
And we are not from the Philippines. We are
Do you
descendants
think-
of Filipinos who were from the Philippines.
All right, let's take a poll. Do you think that's just like, as the generations go, we're just getting bitchier and bitchier about it? Of like trying to sub-label the label? You know what I mean?
I think it's a little bit of sensitivity, right? And people are trying to like people please
Cool.
everyone else. So it's a bit of both. It's like, yeah, it is, but then you can also justify that, okay, that kind of makes sense. And that could make sense. It makes sense for me.
Because like, Filipino American would mean like the culture of Filipino Americans, right? Where it's like, okay, workers' union strikes and stuff like that.
Right.
But if the purpose is to pay homage to the culture from back home or even both, I don't know. I and this might be like the older I get, where it's like, yo, call it one thing and just understand that all of it falls under it. And is it super harmful to bring about these new like sub things? But at the same time, the older I get, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like, let them have their thing, because it's like it doesn't hurt me. But but also there are some instances where it might hurt the learning experience, right? So I guess that's where I'm like on the fence about where is it more harmful or more helpful to have these things?
I think it's more of the awareness part, right? I think the end game really is to call it like, oh, this is just all Filipino and encompass everything. But I don't think we're there yet. So that's why people do say this is Filipino American. This is a subculture of Philippines. Because, there's also Filipino Australian. There's also Filipino French, like, with Leia, right? So, like, there's all these other things that we just... Hi, Leia. Hey, Leia. Nice. Did I just nice my own? Nice.
Nice.
I think, yeah, I'm in the same boat, though, as you. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Actually, like, whenever there's a lot of Filipino events, I get very overwhelmed and, like, over it.
You know,
But I do understand how I felt 10 years ago, 15 years ago of, like, yo, this is me learning about my culture, my parents' like culture-ish, right? And then how it kind of, I don't know, affects me in this whole American situation. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, because yeah, like any Filipino event in America is gonna be Filipino American, just by like nature of location. But then I understand it's like the Filipinos in the Philippines kind of get riled up with like what we're doing in America. Like what they always are against what the diaspora does wherever we're at. So I think it's like another way to kind of distance and like prevent sort of like combative like online discourse and like bullshit like that.
I feel like it's just, I don't know. I'm of the mindset that if it's for entertainment and I'm learning a little bit about the culture and I'm being entertained from it, that's fantastic. I feel like that's what PCNs, PACNs are doing, is just like highlighting bits and pieces of the culture.
Yeah, that's like the heart of them.
Yeah, and that's like the intention of it, And it's also to build community with, the people in that organization. You're not going to go ahead and please everybody 100%. That's going to be unrealistic and impossible. And I feel like it just sucks that there are going to be people that gatekeep that it has to be done a certain way every single time. That just like sucks the joy out of, the intention of these kids at times that are just trying to go ahead and highlight, hey, I'm Filipino. I want to show a little bit about my culture, and I'm doing something with the limited time and resources that I have to at least celebrate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, oh, there's these people that look like me I've never experienced before because I went to a very wide school, and I would like to now see like what these people are also about. We have this other common ground.
Right.
But yeah, it kind of sucks. But I feel like this PCN or PACN thing is like a gateway to, it's like an introduction for people who want to learn more about and dig deeper into whatever they feel like they want to study about their culture. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. I don't know.
yeah, that's why we're talking about it, because there's no right answer. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
One thing, like when non-Tagalog speakers, right?
I really like how you make a duck face when you
It's my
think.
thinking face without.
Yeah,
I have
it's
a
really
fa-
cute.
Like I have a thinking face with my hands, but I don't have access to my hands right now.
So do it again.
Huh?
Do it again. Do the.
The thinking
You were
face?
thinking like. It's very ooh.
Peking duck
Ooh.
face.
Because it sounds. So like for example, right? This is like a weird thing that I notice a lot, and I just like. It's one of those things where like, yo, you can not have to think about this, but it's one of those things where I do constantly think about, where, like Philams or even Filipinos, right? Well, they'll speak in the language that they speak in, but they won't give reverence to the accent, right? And when corrected, they'll be like, it's no big deal, and I'm like, no, you're missing the whole fucking thing, right? Where it's
Example.
like they'll make a joke about like, hey, we're in the Philippines and I'm in Bohol, and then they're like, oh, it's Bohol,
Bohol,
and they're like, I don't, like they won't make the effort to like,
Yeah.
Have
correct it.
the inflections.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're trying to say it fucking right, right?
Sure.
I'm not saying like it's not as bad as like burrito. I'm not gonna say burrito every time.
Oh, burrito?
Yeah,
Burrito?
but it's like a whole thing of like, oh, if you're gonna use a language, respect the accent,
Yeah, or like,
right?
or show that you're trying.
Yeah, if you're trying, that's fine, and you can't hit it.
I see.
That's what she said. But if you're trying, you can hit it, that's fine. But,
Clip that.
Clip that.
Yo,
Future
clip
Dre.
that.
Shooter McGavin.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. New Happy Gilmore coming out.
Wow. Happier Gilmore?
Ooh.
Happier Gilmore.
Happier Gil most.
Happier Gilmore across the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Nice.
The Revenge of Chubbs.
Saint Augusta. Whatever.
What were we talking about?
Talking about accents.
the accent.
We're always talking about accents.
Right.
Flip it into
So someone we've met at an event said that he pretty much grew up in a very white neighborhood, and he was like non-Tagalog speakers, but anytime he encountered the dish kare kare,
Oh, I read that wrong.
well, say that exactly. He would say it kare kare, and then people would say, oh, it's actually kare kare, and he's like, I don't care.
Man, hey,
But he's like, just say it.
fuck you.
But here's the thing. He does a, he,
pancit.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna keep this in the thing, but he keeps
Yeah, we are.
he like does a lot for the community, but like does designs for certain things and stuff. Like I guess he
Some
has
maybe for
certain he has
clout?
certain battles. No, I wouldn't even think it's clout, but I think it's like his expression, right? There's certain battles that you want to fight, and like if you're just like too stressed out to even think about like, okay, I've not been saying it for 45 years that way, and I'm gonna try like, I don't know. That's not his main concern,
Yeah.
right? But he's also like building community by creating these designs, by creating a space for people to get together that are Filipino, because he never had that before. So I mean, sometimes it is a battle that you choose.
What's your take about being in the industry and
like not making an effort to like.
Or just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
maybe
because
you're
that- that
maybe you're
might
just
not really
pronounce
over
it
be a
correctly,
clout community
or-
play.
Yeah, maybe you're just over that
Like,
effort. Like
yeah,
you're like, fuck you guys for trying to keep
Or is engagement baiting?
I don't even think.
But it's also IRL. It's different.
Yes.
Bro, yeah.
He was like, I'm already off the clock. Like, there's no more. I'm not the public-facing character of my group that I'm representing. I'm no longer the event planner for this giant thing that went down.
You just gave up. You don't want to be a better
This is
person.
mine,
I'm-
I'm off now. Like,
he's just-
it's over and there's
He's just overexhausted, and it was just like a bad time. But also, he's like, yeah, I mean, like there are times where I'm just not gonna say it the right way, and I haven't been growing up. I didn't grow up that way, but
That sounds
I
like the
see.
they them
It's
argument.
like, why do I keep having to go ahead and prove that I'm Filipino?
there we go.
yes.
Yes.
There we go. It's that.
That's what it is.
It's that.
So I think the answer is to have actual conversations about it and not just try and correct them, right? Mm-hmm. So I think like if we're to get to some sort of medium where it's like, oh hey, it's actually this, and it's like, yo, you're Filipino. No, I mean like, that's such a weird conversation to have with a stranger, right? But in the sense of like, yo, if you love this thing, you want to represent it properly, or
Right.
correctly,
Sure.
right? Just like how when people put your logo on their back, you want to get represented correctly as well, right? So there's like a duality there.
So you're saying, is there a line? Is there a specific thing that people like can like still try to be part of the community, try to represent, but then like if there's one small flaw that they have, you're like, no, immediately, no, fuck you.
Here's the thing, dude. If you're being put in a leadership position, lead by example, right?
Yeah.
I get it if you're just like some regular fuck, and you're like, okay, cool, because there are regular fucks out there that don't want to do they them, right? We're like, nah, that's a him or a
Yeah,
she.
it's also like I remember my god sister when she was working in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Her ninang has a franchise of like nail salons, and so when they were going into like a new area, they're like, oh, just learn how to say like the greeting in that specific language, like Ilocano or like the whatever, and just like a basic like as a way to like have a oh, I recognize this is a different place. I'm going to like make not necessarily make peace, but like acknowledge, like give the
show
greeting,
effort,
show
yeah.
effort that I'm like trying to understand the like community and whatnot. So then it's like an active choice to not speak in the not even just like language, but just like the inflections of the community you're trying to be a part of. It's like a little odd.
I gotta say though, like a part of this is like I'm trying to be that person right now, and I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm honoring the cultures as much as I can. But at the same time, there's only so much you can do, and recognize that there are limitations. You won't get everything right the first time, or
Right.
even the second time.
and that's
So it's
fair,
like be
but having the attitude
gracious
of,
to
like,
yourself, you know. It's just
I'm over, like that's such
no.
a
I mean,
attitude about it.
there's a point of like you want to honor it, you want to try, but at the same time don't pressure yourself that you have to be perfect all
For
the
sure.
time. And I think that's where it comes down to like me myself as a Filipino American that doesn't even know Tagalog, like I sometimes feel pressure, like I don't understand like
Yeah.
what people are saying sometimes in my own culture, but it's like I can't let that get me down if I don't know these things. Like I can try to learn it, and that's how I can better myself. But it's like I need to recognize my limitations, and
Sure.
I think that's something that everyone can go ahead and recognize. Like, look, you're not gonna get it right the first time, the second time, the third time, and it's okay. And if people are knocking you down for like not being perfect, then let them hate.
For sure.
For my thing, at least with his example, it's like, okay, I'm not going to go to him if I'm looking for Filipino words, if I'm going to talk to him about Filipino dishes and shit like that. But this guy's doing so much for the community, creating like designs, gathering people together.
it's a pass?
And that, I'm not saying it's a pass or not, but I'm saying that's not his strength. And why am I going to knock, for example, sports, why am I going to knock this point guard who can't shoot threes? If I still want him on the team, he's a really good passer.
Yeah, but it's not the ability to do it or not. It's the choice to care about doing it.
I mean, we obviously I think with his case, it was the end of the night after a 2-day spiel event, and
get
he
it.
was fucked up. He was like,
Everyone
fuck
has-
this,
everyone
I'm
has
done.
bad
And he
days,
shouldn't have to
which is
explain
fine.
himself.
And he should have to, yeah, I
he shouldn't
agree.
have
He
to
should
explain his
himself.
Filipino American.
But to think that he's
Yeah.
not Filipino enough because
Oh, I
he
never
just
said
said
that.
that, I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's like the thing. I'm like, I think I'm more accepting of people's flaws, I guess, and like, I don't know. I just, not that it doesn't matter to me, because yeah, it would be nice if he said it the right way, but also it's like, I'm not gonna knock you for not saying it the right way because you've done so many things for this whole community. You gathered all these people together, and like, yeah, you're trying to be better, but maybe just not with the not with the words. I mean, I guess for me, it's not a battle that I care about.
Sure.
Right?
Cool.
I think
yeah,
that's it.
fair.
I think that's the thing. And like 10 years ago, maybe I would, but me now, I'm like, people know. They know their flaws. They know what they're missing out on. And if they want to learn, cool. If they don't want to learn but still want to keep being part of the community, cool. I don't give a fuck, right? But you're creating something for some other people here, and that's dope.
I mean, you look at any language learner, right? You rather than be able to speak and try to speak the language,
Yeah, yeah.
rather than getting the accent correct. Like I can say cilantro perfectly fine, but I cannot speak a single lick in terms of full sentences.
What language is cilantro?
Spanish.
I think it's Spanish, yeah.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, she says
That's how
she
it
says
is.
Barcelona a
Theme.
lot with a TH. It's great.
Yeah, that's like my
I can get the accent right, but I can't get the language right. So
There's
it's
like
one of
a
those things where it's
soft
like,
C
you
there,
can
too.
do,
Yeah,
like, a
Barcelona.
broken accent, but you can speak the language. That's a bigger win than not trying.
for sure.
Right. Yeah. That's.
For him, it was just like I didn't grow up around it, so for me, this is how I say. For him, that's what he knows.
But-
it.
Oh, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
like we're being nitpicky and also clip farming.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
That's like.
I like also don't give a fuck. You know?
But isn't that wild though that people are judged by like maybe 10, 15 seconds
I
of what they
fucking
say
hate
or
that.
how they act? That's
I
just
hate that.
wild. That lives
Right.
on forever. You know, that's crazy.
And I hate that, and I don't want to clip farm that because of how bullshit that is, and I'm
But
like
we're gonna
getting
get
really,
famous.
I'm really like
Ooh.
upset about it because like
Clip
that goes back to like Filipino enough, right? This guy's not feeling Filipino enough because he grew up in a very white spot, but he's creating art for people to get together in Disney, and I'm like, bro, that's fucking cool, but you can't say kare kare. Fucking what? I don't care. I don't care. Good job, dude.
Yeah,
keep
just
going.
like
Keep
this
doing your
one
thing.
guy couldn't say Lolo, but he murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah, dude.
Just trying to change.
Like Jesus did all these miracles, but then he like flipped tables
But
in
he
front of
drank
like,
all the milk. Fuck
yeah,
that guy.
dude.
Damn milk.
Come on. He's telling Pharisees,
No,
hey,
it's
yo,
like-
everything that you've been teaching right now,
Yo, it's
you're not
like
that
such
good
a
enough.
wild, like, maybe it's because
Duck face.
Bro, this is the most I fucking talked.
It's true.
This shit
just like
fucking.
Filipino enough conversation is like.
You're
What is
welcome.
it? What is it?
You're welcome.
What is it? What is it?
You're the first person to point it out. Like I always noticed it.
No,
Yeah.
It's valid, and I'm sorry you have to go through that all the time.
I don't have to go through it.
I mean, like that you have gone through.
Oh
so much.
yeah,
But it's like, because I'm trying to figure out a solve, right? And the only solve in my head is like, both parties need to come and just like hash out their shit, honestly, because it doesn't come from the place it needs to come from. It comes from other shit, where it's like an ego thing or an inferiority thing, or you know what I mean? Where it's like, I think one of the biggest plights of the Filipino culture / Fil-Am culture is pride. Mm-hmm. Pride, rice, pride. I killed the joke before
Yeah.
anyone could.
Good
kill it,
job.
right?
Pride.
No, but like that is the cardinal sin of Philippines. They've weaponized guilt because of their pride, you know. And whoever we learned it from, it's fucked up. But yo, we're good at it. We're so good at it. You know what I mean? And I think whatever, if it's our generation or for generations to come, we need to like minimize that pride as much as we can. And I don't know what the opposite of pride is. It might be acceptance. It might be, acceptance of yourself and whoever else.
Humility.
around. Humility, right?
boiled.
That is the opposite of pride.
Yeah.
That's nice.
boiled, baked. Because
Skinless.
but here's that thing too, where like, how can we get to that place if we're still juggling above and below?
The job.
Yeah, right. Because we still got to deal with the Tito generation. That's us. We still got to do, and we still got to like give the younger generation like a step ahead.
Right. I
But
feel like
it's
it's
like-
it's kind of like the opposite of like our parents' generation just mispronouncing words completely wrong. Like Rupito sin, like all those like Filipino inflections for non-native words.
Yeah.
And so it's like potassium and all these other like medical terms.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, they've learned like, oh, that's not how we say it in America, but then still just like the accent slips out.
Yeah.
So some things are like harder to change, but then also
Oh,
it's
for
still
sure.
like, the communication still comes across.
Yeah. Like maybe their family didn't make kare kare when they were kids. They made casseroles, right? They were trying to, I don't know.
Assimilate.
Maybe where she's
Assimilate.
from, Mary didn't have a lamb.
Yeah. she had a
Maybe
goat.
She had a
she had
goat?
a dog.
She had a dog.
Oh.
Or a little brother named Bot. You get the reference?
This is from again?
Sister Act 2.
Oh.
You can sing whatever it is in your
Haven't
heart
seen
to
it in a
sing.
while.
Oh,
The
that's
love
minute.
boat. Right.
Right.
So good. So good.
So I think that's where like PCNs or PACNs come like in handy. Just to, I guess, to bring it back is to like, bring them back into like okay, there's a chance for you to learn certain things.
Yeah, I feel like it also reels in or like cultivates like the early 20s kind of rage have something to kind of like be angry at and
Fight
about.
the system.
Was that? Yeah.
Because we're
And your face is funny when you think too.
Oh
man.
yeah, dude.
Keep thinking.
Because actually, the conversation Dre and I have a lot when we're in sort of like open mic spaces, a lot of like younger folks, where they're so like really riled up about things, which is great, and like I love that.
We need that fire.
Folks care about, but it's like a young person's game. You know what I mean?
It's like, oh, you don't know yet.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm glad you're starting.
So it's like having that fire, and then eventually like, sort of learning the nuance of how to actually like make an impact.
Yeah.
In sort of these
Yeah.
things.
To bend that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a part of that too is just understanding where that other person is coming from with
Right.
whatever they're portraying, you know?
Right.
So
Oh,
if I'm
shit, like
looking at
empathy?
PCNs and
Right.
pack-ins, you know, instead of me just jumping like, oh, they're not getting this 100% accurate,
Right.
let me pause for a second. Let me see where these students are at, and let me see where these kids are
intent.
at. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
What is it? Intent over impact, or the other way around?
I think. Yeah. I think you're right.
Am I?
Is that
Yeah.
it?
Wow.
Because a lot of these students started at 0.
Clip that.
Impact over intent. No, that sounds
Yeah.
like.
Huh?
And what are they using their platforms for right now? You know, what are they using the
Dances.
PCNs? Exactly.
When I see, because I still follow my old high school Filipino club, and they don't know.
They're
I was
old?
Like an
How old?
alumni. Huh?
How old are they?
No, I'm old.
Oh,
Yeah. But from back in like I still follow them, what they're doing now. And I'm like, yo, go ahead. I'm like that old like retired vet where I'm like, go ahead, young blood, like go do it. And it's like, however they're spreading awareness, I appreciate that they're trying, right? The intent of it. At the same time, and I think our generation had it too, where we have such a big chip on our shoulder of I'll do it myself. Like I don't need your help. You know what I mean? Oh, did that hit you?
yeah, that's very me. That's very me. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Where,
you.
where it's like, oh, we'll get so much further if we actually did ask for help. I mean, step one is ask help from your peers, right? But then,
Right.
what would happen if we actually got help from the generation that went through it? Which is like,
That's true.
all this like save time. That'd be nice. So,
Yeah.
But that's just me like in those dystopian movies where like, oh, in a perfect world.
Right.
Right.
The older generation and younger generation would communicate, and everyone would listen
Yeah, dude.
and heed the warnings.
Yeah.
All right. Do those alumni events that your older organizations are asking for, like, jump on them?
Yeah.
We get those emails. Sorry, Kaba. If Kaba listens to this,
Shop Kaba.
I got the email the other day about helping out with an event. I'm busy that weekend. I'm sorry about that.
I think I'm also busy that weekend. What's the date again?
Sorry about that.
No, but yeah, giving back to those like, and being that person that you wish you wanted to have when you were back there, when
Yeah,
you
for
were
sure.
then, is like, I feel like the impacts that, I mean,
Like be the kuya you needed.
we try, yeah, because there was someone I needed, right? Yeah, I need someone to like tell me where to go, tell me what to do. Tell me when to go. Never mind. Fuck you guys.
I
Oh.
was like, dude, he's watching Star Wars by himself?
It's like, what is this leading up to? Hold on. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
It smells burnt. Is he okay? No, but yeah, it's that idea of like, I don't even know what it's called. Where it's like, I got it. Like
Empathy.
No. The idea of like
Trust.
wanting to do it on your own
He's got it. That's
and
the
not
word.
accepting
Your heart is
help.
in Ohio.
What?
I
Do you
can't
even
make
know?
it on my
Do you even know the way to San Jose?
I got you. Got you,
Vic.
Vic.
Appreciate it.
I too am gonna.
I mean, it's like one of those. I guess the world's fucked up. Yeah, global warming. What are you gonna do?
All right. Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, no respect.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Wow. You want to try that again?
No, that was pretty good.
No, I think
That
I
was
got
good.
it.
I, dude, that's like
That was
a
good.
6 out of 10.
Yeah,
Actually,
thank you.
it's higher than it should be.
Subtle. Yeah.
Higher than it should be. That like slight whisper. I'm like, enjoy it. Merry Christmas.
I'll take it.
What do you think? Put that shit in the comments. That's been another episode of the Pond to Soul podcast. We've been your host. I'm Dre.
Just open-ended. What do you think?
That's why we're doing
It's
this.
Dora the Explorer. You gotta
Yeah.
wait for them to respond.
Yeah.
Nah, because they're gonna put it in the comments and then I'll respond.
It's true. Only Dre
Or someone
responds.
else will respond.
Pandisol podcast.
It could be you.
It could even be you to respond.
Or you.
Yo, and then for this episode, first one in the comments, put your whole address.
Wow.
And we'll send you a sticker, but put the address on the internet
Yeah.
so everyone can see it. We'll send you a sticker.
Let me put my address on the internet right now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Only if it's a PO box.
No, give me your real address. It's just us. Here's your sticker.
Yeah.
It's the three of us.
Fick will come to your house and present you the sticker,
No matter where it is,
no matter how far.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, then
we'll
You
send
could-
you two.
here's another episode of the Pond to Soul podcast. We've been your host. I'm Dre.
I'm the fictitious professor.
And I'm EJ William.
And our special guest, Richie. Give it up for him, everybody.
Richie, where can we find you?
Here.
Nice.
At work.
Here he is. He's right here.
I'm here.
At home.
Good. Good.
Yeah, don't look for me otherwise. I'm just here.
I love that. That's called boundaries, everyone. Please respect them.
And as always,
Don't forget your baon.
peace.
O sige na, Pandis. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Pond to Soul podcast.
And check out previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, check out all our social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Pond to Soul Podcast.
Thanks for laughing, and hope to see you in the next episode, because there's enough Pandisal to go around.
And don't forget your baon.